Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our Transfer Roundup show. This is something that we're hoping to do again more consistently as the transfer market is going to open next week, but the transfer season is open, and we're going to talk about some of the news, some of the speculation that we hear. We can't really cover everything, of course, during the week because of everything else, but we kind of hope to see that we can do it across the weekend. So we'll try to do more of that. Joining me, of course, is Adarsh. Adarsh, welcome back to the show again.
Hello, thank you for having me once again, Rohit.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. And of course, we also got Gaurav joining as well. Gaurav, welcome as well.
Thank you, Rohit.
Yeah, some people might think I'm a City fan now because I always get the City guys on my show, but no,
it seems like City fans and City both are consistent everywhere.
Yeah, see, that doesn't miss a chance, does it? I mean, but yeah, no, I think it's more that the City fans are bored because they don't have anything going on. So yes, might as well join in, or maybe that. But anyway, let's get into it. Talk about City. Let's start with City, Adarsh, and we'll talk about Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez signed, of course, for Manchester City. Speculation that he may not be going on loan. Do you want him to go on loan, or do you think it's best for him to stay at the club this season?
If Jesus is leaving City for good or for bad, depends on Pep, of course. If he leaves, then I don't want Alvarez to move out for a loan because he'll give a good competition, I feel, to Haaland, because Haaland recently has been a little injury prone in Bundesliga. So by any chance, if Haaland is a little hospitalized in terms of injury, so Alvarez would be a guy on whom we can depend because he looks promising. The way he scores goals, the way he's clinical in front of goals. So that's good. The movement he has, everything is just very good, high potential. Just like Jesus, I would say. Jesus had a similar high potential when we first signed him. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, at least I don't want him to be out on the road.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see what Pep decides. I'm speaking of Gabriel Jesus, Gaurav. Arsenal, I mentioned. Do you think that deal is still going to happen? I mean, it's Arsenal, so there's always haggling over price. Do you think that deal is still likely to happen, or do you think maybe he'll go somewhere else, or do you think he'll stay?
I think the interest is there from some other clubs as well. I heard the rumors about Juventus as well. And the only thing I'm a little worried about is they don't have Champions League to offer to Jesus. And he's probably has, this might be his last chance to impress, to leave his stamp on the, in Europe right now. I mean, Jesus. So he probably wants to pay in, some club which is playing in the Champions League right now. So that might be a factor which might affect not signing for Arsenal. But if they offer good amount of money, somewhere around the 30-40 million, I think we are definitely going to sell him to Arsenal. But I think that completely depends on Jesus right now, whether he wants to go to Arsenal or not, especially if there's some interest from other clubs like Juventus or somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm wondering why Juventus. I mean, I guess Juventus are losing Dybala, they're losing Morata, so maybe that's why they want to get Jesus. He's not really a Dybala.
If goes to Juventus, I don't think he'll start in the middle because Vlahovic is someone who's a starter for them.
I think they play 3-5-2. They do play two up top. So they play two up top. Then you play.
Then he can play.
Yeah, they play.
And he's much better with two strikers. I feel like with Aguero, he had a decent partnership.
Yeah, so it might work out for them. Yeah, but Juventus generally like to do free transfer deals. They don't like to do what do you call it? Pay for players generally. So that will be interesting. Speaking of Juventus, Paul Pogba is attracting interest as well to go back to Juventus. Gaurav, do you think that's a good move for him, for Paul Pogba? I mean, of course, the money is one part that is apparently very low, which I don't believe, by the way, for a second, but that's what they're saying. But do you think it's good for him to go back to Juventus? I mean, all things considering, go from United to Juventus to United to Juventus. You think that's the right career choice? I mean, there might not be any other options on the table, but still.
I think the only option from the rumors he had was City. Like I've heard rumors that even Pep contacted him and said that he could give him a chance to fight for his place in that midfield. And I honestly think that he should have taken that offer because I think City are going to fight for all the titles, and he seems to be that guy who should take that up for him, prove his haters wrong. And I think there are lots of them right now, especially in English football. And Juventus for me seems like the safer option right now. It's not the sort of league which attracts a lot of attention. Probably third in the pecking order right now after England and Spain. So maybe he's going there, so stay away from the limelight a little, and you would say that's easily the safer option for him right now. And I don't honestly think that they are going to offer him a lot of money. Juventus, they are not that sort of the club that they will offer him the 350 or 400k per week. That's a sort of amount of money, and he would probably would have gotten that wages similar to De Bruyne or even Haaland at City. I've heard somewhere that City actually told him that we would offer him similar wages to De Bruyne if he moved to City. He basically said that that would actually make him life hell because of the fans and everything and the media and everything. So he basically said no. So, and the other thing is he doesn't really is not attracting any interest from the Spanish clubs. That is one other thing from either Barcelona.
2 years back, I read somewhere that Real Madrid was interested in him, but as of now, they don't seem to be interested in him.
I think Real Madrid were interested because of Zidane. Zidane really likes him, so they were interested because of Zidane. But Zidane's not there anymore.
Another thing is that he's not really young right now.
Yeah, he's
29. So he's not. He doesn't seem like a Galacticos signing.
Yeah. The other option, of course, would have been to go to PSG, but now PSG got to ask Mbappe first whether they can sign him. So
they probably don't have any money, to offer him.
Yeah, I know they've got. They probably have money.
No signing bonus.
Yeah, well, I mean, they probably have money. Just whether Mbappe wants it. Got first ask Mbappe to sign, right? Mbappe probably said no, don't sign him. Sign them else. I don't know. I'm just kidding, but that's one of the surprising deals of the summer, really, to get Mbappe to stay. But the amounts of sunset were ridiculous. But it would have been interesting to see Pogba at Manchester City. I mean, I think doing something, but I think he would have been a bench player at City at best, and probably he wants to be a starter now. I don't think he wants to be someone sitting on the bench. So maybe that's why Juventus is the option. But Serie A are coming back. It's a more competitive league now than what it used to be. So. There's still, it might mean something. Moving on, talking about, of course, we'll stick with the Premier League. We'll talk about Manchester United. Frenkie De Jong, the deal is moving along. It's happening. We talked about this yesterday, actually, about how De Jong put out hints that he probably is going to leave Barcelona. I mean, it's a messy situation, others, no pun intended. Messy. I mean, do you see? I mean, what do you think Barcelona's mindset right now is?
Initially, when his first comments came on this transfer rumor, he was very certain to stay at Barcelona because it's his dream club. That's what he said. But at the same time, Barcelona are open to sell him because of his high wages and the whole wage structure crisis what they are facing at the club right now with each and every player what they have. So if they get the right money from United, I guess that'll.
And what is the right money? Now, what is the right amount to pay? If you're Barcelona, what do you demand? And if you're Manchester United, what is the amount that you would be willing to pay?
Like if you are Manchester United, basically, if you can pay 85 million for a player like Maguire, I guess United should have no problem paying like 60-70 million.
Let's assume that's overpaid. Okay, they paid 50 million pounds more than it was for. So, but in a market like today's, because that was pre-pandemic rate as well, right? So if you're talking today, what is the amount that you would pay?
I guess like around 60 million would be good for a player like De Jong who has good potential. Pounds.
Okay, so that's about 70 million euros, give or take.
Yeah. So that's a good amount, I would say, because he's 23, 24, still that 25, age, he's still young. 25. Yeah. He's at the perfect age. He knows the philosophy of playing the passing game, the possession game, and of course he has played under Ten Hag as well. So that could be a major reason for him to switch to a team like United, because Barcelona is a club who holds a good history. United is a club who holds a good history. So it won't be a major downgrade, I would say, because in terms of football, Ten Hag is capable of having the same football what he had at Ajax. So it's just the competition what United and Barcelona would be fighting for. Like Barcelona is going to give him Champions League next year, but at the same time, like he's going to experience Premier League at United.
Yeah.
So
I think it's more about, I think, whether Barcelona want to sell him to make that money.
Yeah. It's not his wish. He doesn't want to be on the transfer market or like on his own.
Yeah.
It's more of a Barcelona whether they want to sell him or not.
Yeah. Gaurav, I mean, you look kind of shaking your head there at 60 million pounds. Do you think that's too low, or do you think that's too high for him?
I actually think Barcelona are not going to sell him anywhere below 80 million, pounds.
Euros. No, the sum right now is 80 million euros, which is about 70 million pounds.
70 million pounds. Yeah, 75 million pounds. I think that's somewhere they would look to sell him. But I honestly think what I feel like it's going to be a disaster signing for United. I think he's somewhere a similar player to somewhere like Jorginho. Likes to sit deep and doesn't have the physicality or the pace. I think he will struggle in that role, and he's much more suited to the Italian league, or you could say when he played at Ajax or even in the Spanish league. He's suited to the more slow-paced league, and I think he would really struggle in that United team. I think
because if you
United should stay away from that.
Yeah, sorry.
If you look at his stats, he doesn't offer anything defensively or anything in an offensive way. He's just in the middle, just like Gaurav said. He's in the middle like Jorginho. He is a good player in terms of keeping possession, in terms of passing, but nothing extraordinary to offer.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's always YouTube clips that have shown him making tackles, making good passes, and I know people look better on YouTube than they do. So I mean, it is opinion. I'm not going to claim that I've seen much of him. I've heard he was, of course, very highly rated, or he was very highly rated. So I mean, it's something to see. But I don't. Yeah, you know what? 80 million euros is too much. I would try to negotiate for 70 million. That's where I would go. That's where I would probably look at 70 million pounds, only because Ten Hag wants him. So yeah, you gotta, if he wants him, you gotta get him that player. So maybe he knows what to do with him. But yeah, I think 70 million pounds is as much as I would go. But
another reason I'm saying this is that United stay away from him is because I have this feeling that he doesn't want to come to United.
He doesn't.
I think it feels like a Di Maria signing, when he didn't really want to sign for United, but he had to because he didn't really have another option. And right now I think he prefers to stay at Barcelona right now.
I think the only difference that I have between Di Maria and De Jong was Di Maria didn't want to stay at Madrid. He wanted to go to PSG.
He wanted to go to PSG.
And so then he came to United. I think for De Jong, it's more that he doesn't want to leave Barcelona. So he has the option of saying, I'm not leaving because, you paid me. But the fact is that they're pushing him out might make him interested in United. And of course, they've got a manager that he worked with. So maybe he likes that. So that's the only part where I see. But I mean, all concerns. The reality is United never get lucky with transfer signings. So there's odds are with history that this is going to be another disaster. But we'll see what happens there. If you were given the choice, Gaurav, would you go for the other player that they linked with, of course, is Julian Timber? Do you go for Timber or do you go for Pau Torres? Between the two, who do you think is a better signing for Manchester United?
To be honest, Rohit, I haven't seen both of them play, so that's So that's what.
Because the Liverpool player, probably Liverpool fan would be better. I mean,
but I've heard some really good reviews from experts have said about Pau Torres. I think he's more suited to the league. I've heard he has a little bit of pace and he's tall as well.
He doesn't. You heard wrong. He doesn't have pace. He's basically a Spanish Maguire, and I've played on he's not a Spanish Maguire. Nobody's a Spanish Maguire. There's only one Maguire, and we're all thankful that there's only one. Because the world cannot handle more than one. But he's a little bit more pacier than Maguire, but he's still quite slow. And he's more used to playing in a more defensive backline. I'm answering my own question here. I think you didn't.
So what I've heard about Timber is he's more versatile. He's played as a at times at a right back as well, and as a right center back as well. So I've given a choice. I think Timber is more suited to United right now because he has played under Ten Hag, and I think they need that cover at the right back spot as well. So right now, I think Timber would be the right choice.
More of an Aspilicueta kind of a player.
Timber? Not really. I don't think so.
Not really. No. More of a center back who could play as a right back if needed.
More of a
John Stones.
Could be John Stones. Yeah. Probably a bit more pace though than John Stones, but Hard to say. I can't remember anybody in recent memory who went from fullback to centre back to fullback. Yeah, I can't remember anyone.
But Pau Torres had a very good season. Like, I mean, on
He did.
his
Well,
basis, Villarreal went a little ahead in Champions League as well. He was
yeah, but they finished
Villarreal as an overall team had a
They do play a
good
deep line though.
season.
They play a deep line, and Ten Hag doesn't like playing that way. He likes to play higher lines. If you bring Torres, and again you're bringing someone who perhaps cannot play. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, which one they'll sign, but I think Timber is the one they want. I don't think
Timber
they will
is a
sign
little more closer to United as of now.
Yeah, as
sign
of
for
now,
United.
that's. But you know, he's been close for 3 weeks, so you know, I don't know how much more closer he can get without
It
signing.
takes time. It takes time.
Yeah.
You
but
have to be a little patient as a United fan.
Yeah. We all be
We,
patient.
we
Yes.
were patient for 2 years for a striker. See,
That
we
you
can
were
be patient
patient,
a
that,
little
you know,
too
you were
much.
patient, but Pep Guardiola didn't think you needed one. So that's the difference, isn't it? But speaking of patience and speaking of getting close, Marco Cucurella is also getting close to Manchester City. I mean, I don't know how close he has been. And they need a left back, I guess, because they need some cover on that side. Do you think they need a right back as well, Adarsh? Because aside from
as of now, if you see, Walker was a little injury prone by the end of the season. He was getting a little more and more injury. And Walker is gonna be like 32 in June itself, by the end of June. So if Pep Guardiola plans to start Cancelo, which is obvious, and if Pep Guardiola gets Cucurella as well, and because Cucurella is someone who can start, he is a good player, he's a solid player. So if Cucurella starts on the left, then Cancelo is going to start on the right. But if Walker starts on the right, then obviously Cancelo will start on the left and Cucurella will be a bench player for us. But we already have Ake, who can play as a left back, not a preferred left back, but just in case a left back. So that's the thing, because Cucurella as an overall, he's a very good player, I would say, and in a defensive way, I'm saying. You can rely on him.
Yeah.
Or he could score a goal here and there, just like Fred. So that's okay. So,
no, I think he has played as a left wing back as well. He plays as a left centre back, left wing back. So I think he's definitely.
At Getafe, I heard when I used to keep score track, I heard he was playing as a left wing back.
Yeah,
so I'm not sure.
I think for Brighton as well, he switches between left centre back and left wing back. He plays both. So yeah, I mean,
he's more of an attacking fullback.
Yeah, he's a very fantastic. He's a good signing. I think that's the kind of signing.
I don't understand. If Guardiola wanted to have a wing back kind of a player, we already had Angelino, but Guardiola sold him.
No, but he can also play left centre back. So he's defensively accomplished as well. I think he's someone who can play both left. He basically is a left-sided player. So
basically, we'll have Cucurella, who is a natural left back, but can play as a centre back.
No, left centre back in a back three. In a back three. So when you play in a back three, you're essentially like a left back, right? So yeah, he's someone who can play basically as on the left of a back three, a left back and a left wing back. So you can pretty much play him. Anyway, that's what I think. Now, of course, time will tell. But I think he looked good in the few games that I saw him. He looked good. So I think he's a fantastic.
He's solid.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Speaking of solid, Chelsea. Gaurav, Lukaku, it's one that keeps coming up on and on. I want to go to Inter. I don't know what is it about Inter Milan that Lukaku wants to go back there. What is there something? I don't know what it is. But now the talk right now is of a loan deal with a possible option to buy, or they will. Lukaku obviously wants to go back to Inter Milan. If you're Chelsea, what do you think? Do you say, well, let's sell him because he's a toxic influence in the squad? Or do they go, well, no, until our demands are met, we're not going to let him? Where do you see that saga? Because it is.
I'll honestly sell him ASAP and cut our losses right now if I was in the.
Well, that could have been done in the Roman era, but now there's checks and balances because now there's an American owner. So yeah, no.
Yeah, I know, but. I think it's really, really toxic for the dressing room, and he isn't helping his case. After that interview, I think he tried to, mend his words a little. He tried to, talk through his interview, and I think he wanted to, get back into the team and get in good terms. But again, and again he has said, come out, and I think he has basically said that he wants to go to Inter. So the thing is, no. I think Inter will use that interview to their advantage, I think, and that basically brings his price by 20-30 million. So and nobody is going to pay 70-80 million for him right now. He's had a really torrid season. So ideally, I think whatever happens. And all the Italian clubs are known for their, loan deals, loan with an obligation to buy or something like that. So I honestly see something like that to happen, upfront 20 million loan fee and maybe 30 million obligation to buy, something like that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sad situation with Lukaku, for Chelsea, I guess, not for Lukaku, for Chelsea, because that just happened there. But I mean, I don't know. That's one.
They
It's
had a series of bad signings since
Mhm.
Tuchel came over, or maybe a little before, because Hakim Ziyech is terrible.
That was Lampard though. Tuchel only signed Lukaku, right? He
Yeah,
didn't
I
sign
mean a little before Tuchel. So they had a series of like bad
I think
signings. Hakim Ziyech,
Sari days itself.
yeah.
Yeah.
They signed
Jorginho
Pulisic. Pulisic is just, he's an injury prone player. He plays, he has one good game and then two bad games and then two bad games in the hospital. So that's one thing. Jorginho, who is not able to deliver what they expected him to deliver.
Havertz.
And Havertz is like on and off. I mean, I'm not sure what kind of a player he is. Is he a false nine? Is he a forward? He's a winger?
What he
I'm not
is
sure
the
where he
Champions
plays.
League winner. That's the score of Champions League final goal. That's what he is. I'm just kidding. I
think he was worth it. He was worth it.
know for that, right? Just for that
Yeah.
long, he's worth it. Yeah, I know. Just
Yeah.
Others is grinding.
They just bought Champions League for 75 million.
Well, as opposed to, well, I mean, if City win it next year, they bought it for 75 million with Haaland too, right? So it's the same, right? Isn't it? That, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But no, there's also Werner, by the way. Timo Werner as well, by the way, also didn't do so well.
Yeah,
so.
Timo Werner is also someone who's wasteful.
In terms of centre backs, I mean, that's where I think Chelsea's real issue though will be is in terms of centre backs. Others mention is of Jules Kounde. The Supporter is mentioned there as well. By the way, how many centre backs do you think they need? I mean, considering, I mean, there's no guarantee that they lose Christensen and Azpilicueta. No, I think. Well, no, Christensen is a free transfer, so he's definitely going. Azpilicueta still has a season left, but they're trying to get
season left. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
triggered some
Barcelona
contract extension. Right?
Yeah, they gave him an extension of 1 year. He was supposed to go on free, but they activated it so they could keep him.
Yeah.
But Barcelona want him. But Barcelona want a lot of things which they're not going to get. We'll talk about Barcelona in a minute. So the Azpilicueta might stay. Thiago Silva is definitely staying as well. So how many centre backs?
Rudiger is gone.
Rudiger is gone. Rudiger is definitely going.
Azpilicueta might leave. Christensen is leaving. So three main players, good players, are leaving. So at least they'll be needing two first team players, because you can't rely on Thiago Silva. Come on, like he is what, 38? He'll be 38 now. And look at his second half of the season. He was pretty bad in terms of his standard. Like when you compare his first half of the season, he was great. Okay. Second half, it was just the opposite. So that is not the problem with him, but with his age, you have to be a little more realistic here. You can't rely on a 38-year-old defender. Jules Kounde is a very promising player, I would say. He's highly rated in France, as in France national team. And in Spain, in Sevilla, he's having a good season. But the question which is coming is whether Sevilla will sell both their starting 11 players, because Diego Carlos is the one who used to start with Jules Kounde. And if Carlos is gone, will they sell another centre back, just like Real Madrid did? Maybe, maybe not. If they have a backup, then why not? And when it comes to the other one, Koulibaly is the other player whom they're linked with. So he's a good player. Like City was ready to pay like around 50 million or something, but they refused like 2-3 years back before we signed Ruben Diaz.
No, they asked 95 million for the season.
Yeah, they asked for like 80-90 millions for that. But of course, that was a time when he had a lot of time on his contract left. But now his contract might be running out of.
He's 1 more year left. He's on his last.
Yeah, one or 2 years more left on his contract. So I guess if you get a player like Koulibaly, who's 31, who's a lead defender, of course, if you get him like below 40 million or around 40-45 million, it would be a great signing for them. He can give at least 2 seasons.
Yeah.
He's got pace, he's got physicality, he's good with his mind as well.
Yeah, Koulibaly might be a good signing as well as Kounde. There's quite a few centre backs floating around, so we'll see what that goes.
But again, it's Chelsea. Chelsea is the new Manchester United when it comes to signing. All have been trashed with it.
You know what? I'm going to put that feeler out for Nishikant and Siddhant to answer that question. Chelsea, see, I don't have a problem with you saying that Man United suck because yeah, they do suck. But yeah, I mean, with that one, I'm just wondering. It would be nice to have Nishikant and Siddhant on the show to answer that. But I'll put a feeler out for them in the comments. So Nishikant, Siddhant, you can answer this one.
All we can say is
the only difference is they have a Champions League and a Premier League to show for it. Even though they have been trash in signing, but they still won a Premier League and a Champions League.
Well, not since the time that Adarsh is talking about. They haven't won a Premier League since then, just the Champions League and the Europa League. Probably you could include that. Yeah, that's what they won, but not the Premier League since the time frame that Adarsh is talking about.
Yeah, I think they won it 4-5 seasons ago, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
2016, right?
Pep's first season.
Yeah, 16.
Pep's first year, 2016.
6 years ago. 6 years ago now. So
they have like 2 Premier League titles in the last 10-15 years.
Yeah, since 2010, they've only won it twice. So anyway, talking about Premier League, we'll continue with that with Liverpool and real trouble in paradise in a bit. Gaurav, Sadio Mane. Do you think that deal is going to happen to Bayern? Because Bayern need to replace Lewandowski. Lewandowski's definitely said he's leaving. That's for sure. So I mean, it could be resolved, but I think he wants to go, so he's probably leaving. So they want Sadio Mane. Do you think? But they again haggling over price. So, do you think that deal is going to happen? Do you think it's and then does that create a problem for Liverpool?
From his interviews and everything, I think his mind is made up. I think he wants to leave. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind City, putting up a cheeky bid for him. Or take to replace.
How many more do you need? You already have this. We were just talking about Adarsh and Alvarez, and he wants to give Alvarez, and now you need Mane as well. Like, how many players?
Honestly,
I don't mind Sterling being benched for him, or even Grealish being benched for Mane.
Yeah, that's what I've said. I wouldn't mind.
The bench, they'll probably be not in the squad by that point if you bring in Mane, because they're already on the bench. Now you bring him in, and then
that's what I said, nah? Him replacing Sterling.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind him for a couple of seasons.
But it's not going to happen. Former Liverpool with another former Liverpool.
But as you said, Rohit, I think Bayern really need him, and I think he could still, perform at the top for another at least 3 years. And considering the quality of the German league, probably 4 years, he could give it to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
But some mentioned those quite low because I think Liverpool won £40 million for him. That just seems kind of low, doesn't it? Here we're talking about somebody going for 60 million, and 40 million seems kind of low, but that's the price. And maybe it was a contract situation, age, everything, but still it seems kind of low money.
Yeah, it is. I think. How old is he? He's 29, I think.
30, I think.
28,
30, 31.
Yeah, 29, 30. Yeah. So for the quality it brings to the team, I think 40 million is not bad. If Liverpool are asking for 40 million,
Bayern want to pay 30, so that's another one. The Bayern want to pay 30, they want to pay 40. I mean, imagine that, right?
They have they have that habit of paying 20-15 million for buying players from Dortmund and other German teams. They have formed that habit. So probably they think that they will buy players like that from other English teams or other leagues as well. That's obviously not going to happen. But I think they will pay up. They will pay up that 35-40 million for him. I honestly think he'll move to Bayern.
Sorry, Adarsh, you were saying?
Yeah, they really need him because Gnabry is also leaving Bayern. So they have a space for another winger.
Yeah, Gnabry has kind of fallen off the wing, off the radar a little bit after that season that he had, post-pandemic. But it's.
I think they have that. Right now most of their wingers are out of form. Even Sane has had a terrible second half.
Sane has not been good. Coleman has.
I have heard that he's on the market. Like Bayern.
You know what? I would love to bring Sane into United. I can say this right now. I would love to bring Sane to Manchester United. United need a winger, someone who can play on the right, and he can kind of play on the right. So
Sancho can play on the right. Stick with Sancho. Stick to Sancho.
Have Sancho and Sane both. Why not have both of them? I don't mind that. Why not? Why can't we be like Manchester City that they can have full population, everyone? Why not? Yeah,
Martial is returning. You have Rashford. You have Elenga. Like where will they all play?
Lingard is gone, buddy. Lingard is gone. That's old news. Lingard is gone.
No, Elenga.
Elanga is there. But then but Martial is probably leaving for sure because he doesn't want to be at United.
No bias for him. He's going to stick to United. No bias.
They'll get a loan deal for him there.
Rashford, terrific player.
Yeah, you know what? That's a question.
You can obviously bring back
Greenwood. That's a question for next week, and I will ask, will you keep Rashford or not? I'll ask that question next week and who we have. But no, but jokes aside, I would love to have Sane at Manchester. I think he's a fantastic player. I think City have never really properly replaced him until now. I just feel that he's someone direct and someone great. So yeah, I would love if he is on the market, if it's a decent price, I would tell him. And if I was managing transfers United, I would go, yeah, bring him in. But you know what? We'll see what happens with Sane. But yeah, talking about that, about Sadio Mane, the other player, Adarsh, is Mo Salah. Now Mo Salah's contract expires next season, so he's not technically needs to leave the season, but he has said he won't sign a new contract until it matches his wages. And he's probably looking at Harry Maguire, how much Harry Maguire makes for being shit, how much Pogba makes for being shit. And he's thinking, well, these guys are making this much money.
Maybe how much Mbappe got as a signing.
Yeah, how much Mbappe got as well. Yeah, but to be fair, Mbappe is going to combine roles, right? He's not just going to be the player, he's also going to be the director of football, the CEO, all of those things.
Manager and everything.
Yeah,
but again, like Salah has already stated that he won't be leaving Liverpool this season.
And that's my question. If he is not leaving this season and he's decided to go on a free, should Liverpool put their foot down and go, no, we need to get money for you. We can't just let you leave on a free. Do you think they should do that? Or will they go, well, look, we'll get a season out of him. Maybe we'll win a couple of trophies. We'll make up for the money.
Salah is a player I don't think any team would allow to go for free, because you can get the best out of him even when he's leaving for free until the last day of his working at Liverpool. Yeah. So I guess if he goes for free, that's not something which would be a surprise, because he's already told that he won't be signing a contract until his demands are being matched. And I don't think those demands are going to be matched, because he's already the top earner of the club, if I'm not wrong. And there's a reason Mane is leaving. Like, Mane was earning even very less than
100 grand.
100 grand. Yeah.
That's like a half Harry Maguire. I am going into Harry Maguire today.
Oxlade Chamber is earning like 1.2.
120,000. He's earning
120,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the reason Mane is leaving. Salah wants a little higher, and Liverpool are very, very constrained about the wage structure. So if Salah leaves, that would be a problem for Liverpool, because getting elite backup under the price range of what they spend is a tough task. They already got Diaz. I mean, he's a terrific signing so far. He has been a good signing. But let's see, how many can you get in a...
They've got Carvalho as well. I mean, it's not like a level of sign. The problem
he's very young. He's very raw.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? That's what we think. And then they just come in and they play well. Liverpool just, they don't make bad signings for some reason.
You can't just replace Salah with some League Two player.
Well, not really. I don't think Carvalho is the replacement for Salah. I think they'll probably go out and sign. But in order to sign, they probably will need some money for him, because I don't think 40 million pounds is going to get you a new Mane. It's not. So, that's the sum that's mentioned.
I think, Rohit, with the Mbappe deal, we're going to see, similar things happen in the near future. Players running down their contract and then, moving to other clubs with signing on bonus. I think we are going to see that with Salah. And I genuinely think you are going to see that with Sterling as well, and with other players as well. Players will sign shorter deals, 2-3 years or 4-year contracts, and then running down and then moving to other clubs.
Yeah, or you can do or you can do what Haaland does: get a big release clause, get a nice little affordable release clause in your contract, so and then play well.
Haaland said actually release clause has been, like, I just read somewhere that his release clause is 250 million. So actually, it's not that. Not everyone could have.
Yeah, the city one, right?
City one. I said about the Dortmund one was 65 million.
It's not been made public yet.
Yeah.
But I think when he signed for Dortmund, he wasn't
for 10 million.
That
it was 10 million, and it was like everybody knew that was a low release clause, and then 65 million, everybody knew that was a low release clause as well. Yeah. But that's the way you go, right? You say, I'm a 50 million pound player, you only get paying 65 million. So where is the rest of the 85
million pounds, right? If I'm not wrong.
65 million pounds. No, it was 65 million pounds, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was 65 million euros. 51 million.
I thought it was 75 million euros, which became 65 million.
No.
Signed Alvarez and him for like 65 million.
65 million in total. 65
so
million.
That's about
pounds.
55 million pounds. Yeah, 55, 56, based on exchange rates at the time. The world's going. Yeah. Okay, well, that's interesting. Right. Let's see what happens with Salah and with Mane. But my concern with Salah, though, the other part, the Liverpool's concern probably, Gaurav, is the fact that he's getting old. He's past 30 now. And if they give him a very fat contract, maybe they're worried about an Aubameyang situation as well. That where you give somebody a big new contract, and then if he stops performing, you're stuck with the player for 3-4 years, 5 years, whatever. Paying him big wages. Is that a concern? Do you think with Salah, or do you think he's too good a player to not have that issue?
I think he still has at least 2-3 years at the top to give to the club. So that is kind of risk you should afford, especially when you are dealing with probably the top 4 or 5 players in the world right now. And I honestly think Liverpool should start rebuilding. They are in kind of trouble right now, I would say. Van Dijk is not in the right side of his age. Salah is getting older. Mana is expected to leave. Their midfield is not looking good right now if you see the players that they have. So at least what they can do right now is at least get their best players to at least sign the contracts and at least make them stay for next 2-3 years. At least so get the younger players to someone have someone in their team to guide the younger players.
Yeah,
I just focus on that right now.
Yeah, that would be the smart thing to do, but we'll see what Liverpool decide. I mean, they generally get it right, so we'll just have to wait and see what they do.
The question is for how long?
For how long?
They generally get it right for how long? Every team has that patch when they get the right players for some time.
This is just here to try to just salt everywhere. Like, yeah, it's going to spread my jinx all over every.
It's like the salt bay today.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like everywhere. It's like a jinx thing. Yeah, I'm going to spread it everywhere because Anyway, we'll wrap it up here. Final questions then. Barcelona. We'll start with you, Adarsh, for this one. Now, the issue with Barcelona I spoke yesterday is that they have no money, but they want to sign players. Do you see all the players that they want? So it's Kessie, Christensen, Raphinha, and Lewandowski. Those are the ones that we know of. They might want more, but those are the 4. Do you think they'll get all 4 by the end of the transfer window? Or do you think they'll have to maybe say, well, we won't be able to sign all 4?
It's a big question for everyone, I would say. Even the Barcelona fans are not aware whether the club would be able to register so many players under the wage structure, which is already crippling down to nothing. And there were news as well. They were planning to get a huge amount of loan as well. Again, if they are able to do so, they might be able to register all these players which are being mentioned in the news. But if they do not, I don't think the current wage structure would allow them to register any further players, because they even struggled to register Traore initially when he was on the loan. He was waiting for a couple of days or weeks before he was registered after the signing was made. Same was for Aubameyang as well. So that's still a question, because if they have an option to sign 1 or 2 players, Lewandowski is going to be the number 1 priority. Second one would be a centre back. That would be, I guess, Christensen, who would come a little low on wages, plus a younger version of Aspilicueta. So these 2 are the only signings which I'm seeing that could be possible if they are being allowed to sign 1 or 2 players by any chance.
Yeah,
I think they've asked some of their senior players to expect a 50%
a
wage cut as well.
50% wage cut. I don't know how well that's going to go over.
Again, they asked for the similar thing last season as well. After
they asked in January.
Departure.
Yeah, in January they had asked for 50%, which was Umtiti was the players who took a wage cut, and then they were able to sign Ferran Torres. Now they want to do for the whole squad 50%. So I don't know how well that's going to go, but
they'll probably offer some money, some other way.
I don't think PK should do it right now, because he's going to have to give a lot to her soon-to-be ex-wife.
Oh no, they were never married. They were never married.
Oh, they were never married?
They were never married. They were just living together.
Just dating?
Partners. Partners. Living together, they were not married. So I don't know. I know there's spousal support. I don't think Shakira needs spousal support anyway. And Shakira, she doesn't need spousal support.
Yeah.
Or parental support. So yeah, I think if anything, Shakira might need to give spousal support to PK. But
Yeah, might offer some money to Barcelona as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, well, you know what? Spotify is sponsoring Camp Nou. I think they'll probably be very disappointed that Shakira and PK are not together. They could have probably done a collab there with Shakira, but anyway, that might be something. But
I think a lot of deals depend on that. Barcelona's situation. If they are not able to afford Lewandowski, then that Mane deal is going to be in trouble as well.
Because I think Lewandowski wants to leave Barcelona. I think, Bayern Munich. I think that's just what he is. And if you can't go to Barcelona.
I think his mind is made up for Barcelona, and none of the other clubs are kind of interested in him right now.
Yeah,
maybe Chelsea.
Clubs need a striker as well, because if you look
maybe Chelsea if they get to offload Lukaku.
Yeah, then that's Chelsea is probably the only one that I can see that would probably need it. Maybe Liverpool might be interested in a swap deal. Because after all, Lewandowski
did play. If he wants to be the third backup, maybe City. You never know.
Nah,
City,
no,
third
not going to
backup.
happen.
Lewandowski, the third backup. Oh my
Never
God. Well, he
going to
scored.
happen.
Or United for Ronaldo's backup as a striker.
But yeah, it would work. But then again, you're paying like I don't know. I don't know that how that and again the backup to Ronaldo Lewandowski doesn't work, does it? Maybe Milan if Zlatan retires, maybe. But I don't know if Milan could do that deal. I keep propping Milan away. I talked to Milan yesterday, so it's not like I have some kind of inside knowledge, but it's just yeah, that's the only one I think of. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think there's a lot that we haven't covered. I know there's so many things, and the transfer market is moving, and we'll see what happens. And there's lots of course, talking points. We'll cover some in the next episode when we do it. We'll cover, of course, there'll be new things as well to talk about, so we'll know that. But for now, thank you so much, Adarsh. Thank you so much, Gaurav, for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a good week of transfer news to follow, and some good news for your clubs as well to come. But let us know in the comment section. What did you think? What do you think about some of the transfer speculation? Do you think should some of the things that we talked about? Should Mane leave Liverpool? Should Salah leave Liverpool? Should United sign Pau Torres? If you agree, disagree, let us know in the comment section. This is always a pleasure. Do remember to smash a like, on the video if you enjoyed it, and share it as well. And do subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook, because there's a lot of things happening as we're talking about, and I'm sure we'll be doing a lot of videos as well to react on news that come along, so you get notified when they happen. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.